Hello and welcome back. We're going to be covering the last one in this series that we're doing today, lesson 19. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. And sis, do you want to take that?
Thank you. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. Lesson 19. The idea for today is obviously the reason why you're seeing does not affect you alone. You will notice that at times the ideas related to thinking precede those related to perceiving, while at other times the order is reversed. The reason is that the order does not matter. Thinking and its results are really simultaneous, for cause and effect are never separate.
Whoa.
Oh. You want to just help to unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to see that sentence, but I was like, that just ripples out and out and out, right?
That shows
So
you.
thought and its effect
Mhm.
are simultaneously, not separate. So how do we answer the one that says, well, I didn't see the effects of it for some time?
Right. I don't know. Help.
Yeah, I think that once the thought is there, it's the seed is in the mind, and the cause is there, and so the effect uh, is present in the mind, and you will see it. I don't know. I mean, I guess our beliefs about how we're going to see it or how long it'll take us to see it might govern our actual seeing it, but it's going to be there regardless.
Well,
Once that you have the cause, you have to have effect.
well, just look at a mass. Let's look at the mass delusion
Mm-hmm.
of the idea of the body aging. All
Mm,
right.
right.
Uh, so let's look at. I have a memory of me being maybe 5 years old
Mm-hmm.
and meeting an not meeting, but seeing an elderly great aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, she looked around about 250 years old. I'll never forget it when I met her. I was like, because she came from, from overseas to come visit us.
Uh-huh.
I was like, man, she's got to be older than God, you know? Like that was the first thought. And then I remember the second thought going through this 5-year-old brain, through the ego, which was that'll be you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You will also have these crippled up arthritic fingers and toes, and you will also eventually look 250 years old as well. So there it is. But
Mm-hmm.
it took 64 years or 60 something years in the illusion of time
Right.
before I began to see the effects of
Right.
aging.
Right, because it would have to go through ego laws. But as soon as you have accepted, I am a body, you have accepted in that moment all the laws in which the ego binds that body, that you're going to be progressing along a timeline, that you're going to go through all these different phases. I love the one at 40, your eye muscles will start fatiguing, right?
Oh, I didn't even know that one. But
I
go
know.
on. Yeah, look.
I wasn't paying attention either, but of course, right on cue, because the collective says this is the law. If we're not vigilant for these things, we fall prey to these laws. But, and then if I'm a body, then the body's going to park it at some later date, probably when my relatives and ancestors died, probably around the same age, right? Yes. And so the law says that you will see it in time. So time seems to take the effect and prolong it under the ego's laws. But as soon as the cause, I'm a body, you get the effect, the full thing. You just may not experience it all at once. Yeah, that makes it. Yep, perfect.
Thank you. So we'll go to the second paragraph.
Hmm.
Today, we are again emphasizing the fact that minds are joined. This is rarely a wholly welcome idea at first.
Yes, it's rarely a holy welcome. Yeah,
I
okay.
remember this too, going, what? You mean I don't have my own private mind? Oh, that was so scary. Um, This is rarely a wholly welcome idea at first, since it seems to carry with it an, an enormous sense of responsibility and may even be regarded as an invasion of privacy.
Mm.
I know that one, right? Yet it is a fact that there are no private thoughts. Despite your initial resistance to this idea, you will yet understand that it must be true if salvation is possible at all. And salvation must be possible because it is the will of God, right?
So let's stop and just look
Yeah,
at that for a second.
yeah.
We're coming back again that from the belief of private, separate minds, billions of different minds having private thoughts, our salvation is found when we are willing to forgive that thought and come back and allow that mind to be in us, which was in Jesus. Like the mind of God is the only mind there is, and you and I and every single brother or sister possesses that mind and reflects or extends the mind of God. So our salvation is an understanding that there is one mind, celebrating that the fact that there was only one mind, and that is our mind. The Holy Spirit reminds us that only the thoughts we think with God are true thoughts. So that's the way of salvation. That's the will of God. The ego, of course, shrieks and says, no, separation is our God. And that's the belief that we can have separate minds with separate wills and separate thoughts and our little opinions and judgments, which keeps the mythical me seemingly alive and thriving.
Mm.
So it's a choice. What do you want? Which way on the continuum are you going with the ego, or are you wanting to will with God? Which is your will?
Okay, this is good. It's good to bring this up because what just came through my mind then
Mm,
was, well, what about memories?
mm. What do you mean? What
Well,
are they?
I mean, are they neutral?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, but and do they okay, so if I believe a memory of a memory of what? A memory of something that was painful,
Mhm, mhm,
and I still believe it now here, right? It hasn't left my mind.
mhm.
It is, I believe that painful memory.
You're still bringing the past forward. Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
Okay. So am I going to manifest that memory? I will keep, sorry, the question is, am I going to keep manifesting that memory?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing that we use the body for, right? So, okay, so if I have this memory that I was beaten, mercilessly as a child, and I am so traumatized by that it's become part of my identity, then I am carrying that forward as part of my filter about what I am. And I even allow my body to be the repository for all the emotions, the negative emotions and the trauma that I experienced. And my body becomes a billboard for perhaps have some physical side effect from that trauma, or I'm using my body as a means to shame my abuser, right? I look at me at your hand. Because of what you did to me, I suffer, and I still suffer today. I might have post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't know. But yes, we're bringing the timeline and the past memory along with us, as long as we want to make that story real. And we want to make that story real if we want to keep our brothers guilty and
Mm.
separate from us.
That's why all past memories, especially those traumatic ones,
Mm-hmm.
do need to be forgiven deeply. Yeah, right.
That's right. Yeah, because you're just enslaving your brother and yourself. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. Huh. Yeah,
Okay.
good point.
So, paragraph 3, the minute or so of mind searching, which today's exercises require, is to be undertaken with eyes closed. The idea for today is to be repeated first. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. And then the mind should be carefully searched for the thoughts it contains at that time. As you consider each one, name it in terms of the central person or theme it contains, and holding it in your mind as you do so, say this: I am not alone in experiencing the effects of this thought about, and then you just fill in the blank, right? The requirement of as much indiscriminateness as possible in selecting subjects for the practice periods should be quite familiar to you by now and will no longer be repeated each day, although it will occasionally be included as a reminder. Do not forget, however, that random selection of subjects for all practice periods remains essential throughout. Lack of order in this connection will ultimately make the recognition of lack of order in miracles meaningful to you. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Apart from the as-needed application of today's idea, at least 3 practice periods are required, shortening the length of time involved if necessary. Do not attempt more than 4.
Okay.
Okay. Very good.
So it's like broadcasting every thought that we have affects the entire sonship, as well as, and that would be also true for our forgiveness work. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's important. It's not like I'm a individual and I'm working out my own salvation and I'm doing forgiveness of my own thoughts and I'm accepting atonement for myself. It's so important to recognize that as part of a sonship, which is entire and whole and unified, that everything that we're doing, like the pebble on the pond or something bouncing on a web, or I've heard lots of different ways to describe it, but there is nothing that we can do that doesn't affect the whole. So when love's doing it, how beautiful is that idea? And while fear's in control, what a motivator to watch our thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you, sis.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thanks guys. We'll see you next time for lesson 20. Bye.
Bye.